So I'm going to finally do a Fender Eliminator tail tidy on the XSR900. I wasn't sure I was going to do this for a long time, but I started getting a little bit pickier about the aesthetics of the bike and some of the geometries and the ratios front to back. And so I think I just went ahead and pulled the trigger on it. A reason I was kind of avoiding it for a while because I wasn't sure I was going to find one that was going to fit with the T-Rex Racing bag mounts that I have back here. But surprisingly, T-Rex Racing has their own tail tidy. So I went ahead and got theirs, and it's supposed to fit in here and be compatible with their other bracketry that's going on back here. So I did leave those mounts on here for this video so we could see how that all fits together, and it should be good. So let's see what happens. I went ahead and took the seat off and the bags off so I'd get everything out of the way. I got to get underneath a couple of brackets here, and I'm going to unbolt this whole rear carriage here, and then I got to unplug a couple of wiring things and basically pull that whole guts out the back through the bottom, and we'll disassemble it on the bench. The bracket here is just going to float and hang around, kind of semi in the way, but I've got to take these 4 bolts out, or 4 nuts, and then there's 3 different wiring sections here that I've got to take loose for the 2 turn signals and the license plate here. One mild inconvenience about this kit, about doing a Fender Eliminator on this bike, is that to get to these turn signal harnesses and these indicators, so that I can swap them out and put them into these, is all of that wiring is inside of this whole pre-assembled contraption. So I have to basically disassemble the whole thing down to just individual parts just to get those wires out and these indicators off. So we'll see what happens. And here's the wire. So these turn signal indicators. Kind of clever. So it's sort of an integrated latching system. There's a little washer in here that slips behind some tabs, so you'll just move those tabs. It's all mostly rubber and flexible. So there's a plastic retainer here, and there's a little tab here, so you'll move that rubber out to the side, pull that retainer back on the wire harness here so it can float, and then you'll just compress that whole rubber housing and push it back out the hole. Now I won't have to disassemble the license plate bracket and the, or license plate light bracket and the harness that goes with that. The tail tidy from T-Rex Racing has its own LED light, and I've got a pigtail that I'm going to splice in so I can just connect to the main harness on the bike. So at this point, I think we're done with these pieces. Okay, so that might be the hardest part of the job, is getting these rubber caps and retainer pieces all into the hole there. They're just a lot of fiddling, but eventually they go, and they're pretty good fit, pretty snug fit. I don't see them coming out or anything like that. So now we gotta tuck all this back up into the hole there and splice some wires. After some finagling, I finally got everything back together, and I've already done a test fit on this, so I have these wires sort of tied up and spliced together already, but I realized I made a mistake when I got everything back together. I had all the wiring run through the circle hole instead of the square hole, so that's where the key goes, and so don't make that mistake. Make sure your wiring goes through the square hole like the factory system does. But yeah, I'll throw this back in there and see where we're at. So this is the final fitment of the TX Racing Fender Eliminator tail tidy. I kind of like it. It's pretty discreet. I'm gonna go shoot some pictures out in the environment, give it a real good silhouette shot of it and things like that. But overall, I think it's pretty good. It fits between the side bags mounts like I wanted. I did want to go with a tail tidy that uses the factory turn signals, and I wanted to do that because I didn't really want smaller turn signals. I was pretty okay with keeping the larger, more visible ones. I'm not really trying to be discreet on the road, just for safety reasons, so I didn't really mind keeping those. And it's also just less to wire overall, because I can just plug it right back into the factory harness like it's supposed to go. So yeah, overall, pretty good fit. It's pretty decent. I'll see what it looks like out in the daylight, and but I kind of like it. Turns out pretty okay.